of unsung heroes for their struggle and efforts that are inspiring for all the women. This is not all about her. She has entrepreneurial qualities too, and she has authorized 6 books of IPR, women empowerment, and bioethics. She has 15 national and international research papers. She is being awarded with the Exceptional Woman of Excellence by Women Economic Forum, and she was also awarded by the Women Entrepreneur of the Year 2019 for the startup. There's a long list of her awards, and this is the end of it. So on this day, I welcome you, ma'am, and I also welcome our respected HOD, sir, Dr. Vivek, on the behalf of our director, sir. I request Dr. Vivek, sir, to please say a few words to mark the beginning of the day. Dr. Vivek,
Thank
sir.
you so much. Thank you so much, Meenakshi ma'am. A very good morning to all of you. I, Dr. Vivek, HOD of Pharmacy. Now it's with tremendous pleasure that I warmly welcome to all of you in this webinar session on behalf of IMT College of Pharmacy. I would like to welcome our honorable guest, Dr. Shweta Singh, and our director, sir, Dr. Malika Arjun. We are certainly grateful to her for courteously and gladly accepting our invitation, become the guest speaker of this session today. Lastly and importantly, I would like to welcome all the teachers, students, staff who are an integral part of this college that have always supported the vision and mission of the college. I request all of your kind cooperation throughout the session and making it a grand success. So again, I would like to request to Meenakshi ma'am for the further proceedings of this presentation. Dr. Shweta ma'am, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good, and thank you for the warm welcome. Good morning.
Sure. So welcome to our session and hope I think
Yes.
you will start your session now.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. So, Meenakshi, should I start now with the presentation?
Yes, ma'am. And thank you so much and welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So, good morning to all of you. It's my pleasure that I'm speaking for IICIMT, and it's an opportunity that, and I'm blessed that director sir and management considered me for this particular topic. So when we talk about intellectual property rights, it's like a very naive term, I would say, for academics. And from last 3 to 4 years, we have been now concentrating on IP. Otherwise, previously, we were this was a untouched field, I would say. So when we talk about IPR, we talk about many points. I would say I'll just open the presentation. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just open the presentation. So when we talk about IP, we talk about an umbrella which boosts the innovation and support. Every point of your creativity and innovations. So here this right is particularly for the researchers, for the innovators, for people who actually believe uh, in creating or innovating something and then protecting it. Protecting why? Because whatever comes from your brain, whatever comes from your intellectual capacity, it belongs to you, and you are the whole sole owner of it, because you know how to use it and you know how the better use of that particular product or process can be, and you have all the rights to exploit that particular invention. So when we talk about IP, we should start talking about the concept of intellectual property and the rights, and then we should come over the umbrella of IPR. So when we talk about the concept of intellectual property rights, it's like same as your normal other legal rights happens for your tangible assets. So tangible assets means any assets which you can move, right? Move means through different agreements or different papers or different legal draft, you can move the properties. Same way, your intangible property, that means your intellectual property, have the capacity to be protected and to be transferred with your permission. So, so when we talk about intangible assets and we talk about intellectual property, the rights which protect are called intellectual property rights. And now, how intangible assets are born? It is born when an idea is born, and when an idea is born, the idea comes from a problem. So you identify a problem and you come up with a technical solution to that problem, and that technical solution becomes the invention. Now if the invention is new, now if the invention is novel means worldwide, it is new, that characteristic, that element, that feature is new, you need to protect under different IP rights. Now, many of times, especially the researchers or the inventors and especially the students get confused between invention and discovery. See, invention means you have particularly invented something which was not there, not present in the nature, not present in the world. Discovery means already something is present and you have just discovered it, just you have found it out that this particular thing is also exists, this particular things also exist in the nature. So that is called discovery. Now many a times invention has led to discovery, and many a times discovery has led to invention. Now, when we talk about intellectual property rights, we should first talk about the characteristics of IPR. So IP is geographical in nature. That means the country where you file that particular IP, either it's patent, either it's trademark, either copyright, you will have the protection only in that country. Whatever country you want to have the protection, you need to file the application there, in those countries also. It is meant for innovators, as I said. Why innovators? Because innovators know it is because innovator is the person who has actually came up with that intellectual innovation or creativity. Owners have the right to exploit the invention in their own way. So here what this means, that if government is giving you a certificate, legal certificate, that this particular rights belongs to you, they will always the right which comes is like you have full right for that invention or that element feature which has been protected in the IP. You can exploit, you can sell it, you can manufacture it, you can license it. So it is totally your wish how you are going to exploit that particular invention. Then the second part is claiming ownership. So say, you see, if someone else is using that particular invention, you can claim your ownership. You can sue that person legally. You can bound that person not to use your invention. Then next is you have monopoly. So IP gives a monopoly on any particular all the rights of the IP gives monopoly on all the product or services or whatever kind of IP rights you are going to protect. So monopoly means you have the you are the full whole sole owner in whatever way. So these three sentences are very much connected when I talk. Ownership can exploit in monopoly means you have the full ownership and you can exploit your invention in your own way. Now you can license it, sell it, assign it, as I told you. Invention, government says the third criteria of patent especially says that whatever you have made should be made public. Your people should public should use that invention. Same kind of industry should manufacture and get its availability to public. Then yes, with your IP you earn lot of money, so further encouragement to innovation is there, further futuristic research is there, and enforcements, obviously the day you file your IPR, your enforcement starts immediately. Now, as I was talking about, IP is an umbrella and there are many rights for many different kind of work. So when we talk about functional and technical aspect of a product or process. That means when we talk about technology, we talk about invention, the IP right which is suitable here is patents. When we talk about artistic work, authorship work, literary work, dramatic work, performing right, broadcasting right, presentation, these all comes under Copyright Act. When we talk about anything which is identification, becoming the identification of your business, which is differentiating you from your competitors, either it's a product, it's a process, it's a color, it's a symbol, it's a word, sound, jingle, anything which makes you different in the eyes of customer, or from which your customer is identifying you, becomes your trademark. Because my name is my trademark, I am known by Dr. Shweta, founder Ennoble IP, so that becomes my personal trademark. Or Ennoble IP, so the name becomes the trademark. Or your college IIMT, the name becomes the trademark, because everyone is identifying your college by the name of IIMT. So that is how the trademark works. I'll take this in detail later. Then aesthetic look, that means a product shape, how it is looking from the naked eyes, that becomes the design registration. Now, other IP rights is like trade secret. Trade secret is very common, and I hope you all have heard that, because once you talk about trade secret, the first company which comes into the mind is Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola is like has kept its formulation trade secret. Then Haldiram, then KFC. So any business formula or business method or recipe or composition which you don't want to disclose to public, you can keep it as a trade secret. But trade secrets are not given any legal document or certificate by the government. Why? Because it government says you protect it through the confidentiality agreement. Why? Because for all other legal rights you need to disclose everything to government. Means if you have made a product, then you will say tell government what will be what is the new property of your product or process, what is the color combination, what is the composition, what is the formulation, what is the strategy, how to use it. That means you have to disclose everything to government, and later government discloses to public also. So it cannot be a trade secret when you need to get a right from government. But trade secret means you keep it to yourself and keep it confidential through different non-disclosure agreements, confidentiality agreement kind of things. Now the next is geographical indication. Geographical indication means a particular product belonging to a particular place of origin. So geographical indication is like Nagpur oranges, Banarsi silk, Kolhapur chappals, then Kanjivaram silk, then your Fulkari work, then Agra ka petha. So these are the geographical indication. Darjeeling tea is one of the most common geographical indication, I would say. So this way, what you are doing, you know that this particular product belongs to this particular place. The origination is from Darjeeling, of Darjeeling tea. So this has been started here in Darjeeling, and the I will say the essence of that particular product comes because of the origin. So that particular product will be known by that particular geography, and then it is called geographical indication. Thing is, geographical indication is not given to single person. It is given to group of association and the geography itself. Then comes your domain name. So domain name is also one kind of IP rights. Domain names like www.imt.edu or www.ennobleip.com. So whatever domain you purchase on your name becomes your IP right. And then comes your integrated circuit layout design rights. Integrated layout circuit layout design means the chips, the connections, or how your mobile phone is working, or electronic devices works, or your laptop works. So how that has been integrated, that becomes ICT. So now I'll explain what is patent and why the innovator should go to file patent or IP, protect IP first before disclosing it to investor or disclosing it to anybody in the market. So see, IP, as I said, is geographical in nature. territory specific, is will provide a monopoly, but it will not come in a easy way. So if you disclose something in public before protecting it, it becomes prior art, because for patenting you need to have few things very in place, and that why I'll explain. So when we talks about patents, we should know that patents is nothing but a legal certificate or a legal paper, legal document provided by government to the applicant or the inventor, stating that this particular inventions belongs to you, this particular feature or element or whatever you have invented, process, product or process belongs to you. Now you have full right, you have monopoly to manufacture, sell or exploit it in your own way. Now what you will get as a patent, or what are the criteria to get a patent? So patent is patent you get on the inventions which are totally new or improvement over the existing products. So I'll take the examples of existing products improvement, but we'll see the criteria. So there are three criteria basically. One is novelty, second is usefulness, and third is inventive step, or it is also called industrial application. So novelty means if you are filing a patent in India also, your product or process, the technical advancement which you are doing should be novel, new, worldwide. You are filing application only in India, but technology should be new worldwide. The second, usefulness, that is industrial application. So usefulness means the particular product or process whatever you are inventing should have industrial application. That means public should use it. That means the same kind of manufacturing industry should be capable of making your university, making your inventions and providing it to public. Please pick this call. Then third is inventive step, which is called technical advancement also. So inventive step means whatever you are claiming, going to claim to your in the patent application should have technical advancement. I will explain you the technical advancement later when I explain you the improvement or modification. So what can you patent now? See, you have gone through the three parameters. One is novelty, second is inventive step or technical advancement, and third is industrial application. So basically when I talk about criterias of getting patent, these are the few criterias. But when I talk about what can you patent, I will talk about product, that a product can be patented in India and outside India also. I'll talk about compositions. So here I have taken the example of a door lock. So now when I'm taking this example, I'll explain all how you can utilize this particular example and what all you can product. So I can product a door lock because I have made a very novel door lock. I can only protect the composition because I have made a chemical lubricant or composition or formulation to make the door lock. So one second is composition. Third is I have made a apparatus, that means I have made a machine from which I can make a door lock. And fourth, I have made a process or method of making a door lock. So these four things very easily you can patent, either a product or a composition or a apparatus or a process, or either these all four should be new or improved version of the existing invention. And you know that 90% of the patent in the world are improvement or modification. Now I'll come to that technical and improvement point. So see, initially in 1980s, we were using floppy disk. So it was again used for storing the data. Then we came to CD-ROMs and DVDs. Then the modification happens and we came to memory sticks, that is our USB pen drives. And then we have now clouds to store the data. So see how the modification has been happened and how the inventive step which I was talking about or the technical advancement which I was talking about has happened. Same, you can take any other example also, like mobile phone. First mobile phone was just there for receiving and making a call, right? Then it came with a camera feature, then it came with a watch feature. So now the mobile phone has become your, almost becomes have become your desktop. So this is why, because the technical advancement has kept on going, and always has come up with the best version. So this is called the technical advancement inventive step, and this is called actually how you can technically correct a device or a method or a process, and you can come up with a new invention altogether. Who needs a patent? Anyone can take a patent, despite of your degree, despite of your education, despite of anything, your age, your domain. I know people who are from management background, BBA student, came in Limca book of records, just because he has x number of patent filed on his name. See, patent is not about inventing something in lab. Patent is about a problem identification. The best you identify a problem, and the best you come up with a technical solution, that becomes your invention. Now, what are the stages of filing patent, and how you will reach till grant to the grant position? So once you file the patent, while filing the patent, you should have first done the patent search. That means evaluating your patent on the databases which are used worldwide, to know that you are not reinventing the wheel. That means you are not working on the same technology which already people have used it. Then second is, when once you have the patent search report, it will also help you in futuristic doing a futuristic research, not, as I said, the reinvention of the wheel. Now, when after the search report, when you're clear that you have a patent which is novel, and which have the technical advancement or inventive step, right? So after knowing this, you are clear that you have both the parameters fulfilled, and now you have to move for application filing. So there are 5 to 6 kind of applications, but I'm not going all in detail. I'll just explain here two ordinary application. One is provisional application, and second one is complete application. The provisional application means you don't have the complete data of your invention, but you just have the idea and few elements and features in mind, and you are going to work on that. So you need to protect your idea, and you need to protect the priority date of your invention, so that uh, once you whatever you have invented, whatever you have made, no one else should come up a file before you. So you protect the priority date and the concept of your idea. So if you have not the complete method or process or details of your patent invention, you can file a provisional application, and government gives you 12 months to file a complete application. But whatever date in the life cycle of patent will be calculated from the first filing date. It is not mandatory that you file both application, first provisional and then complete. You can file complete application directly if you have full disclosure of your invention. So now I am considering in this chart that you have full disclosure, and we are filing the first application as complete application. So that date becomes your priority date. Now, from the first date, automatically the application will get published within 18 month. So the patent get published in the patent office journals every month. In month 4 times the journals gives the publication details, and after 18 months your application automatically get published. It is not like they will review it, they will read it, and then they will publish it. Anything you file, it will get automatically published after 18 months. Now, after 18 months, when it is published, you have to file from the first date of filing, within 48 months, you have to file FER, request for examination, Form 18. So now once you file Form 18, you are requesting through that form to the examiner of patent office that please examine my application. That means now this will be the first time that when your examiner is going, patent office examiner is going to examine your application. Till publication, there is no examination. Without examination, it has been published, whatever you have filed. Now, once you have requested in Form 18, they will review it and they will give some comment. Either there will be few objections, there will be few modifications or few improvement suggested by them. And this suggestion is called FER, First Examination Report, issued by Patent Office. Now you or your attorney, whoever is taking care of that invention, that file, that particular application, have to reply to the examiner on all the objections and the comment they have given. So once you reply, this process goes, maybe in the first reply he is not happy, he will again do some objections or do some, ask for some modifications and improvement, then he will send it to you, then again your attorney or you will reply. So this is called, this cycle is called office action response. Office is taking some action and you are responding on that action. Once they are satisfied, or maybe they call hearing also. So if they are satisfied in written communication, they will issue the grant of the patent. If they are not, they will call for hearing, and in hearing you can, whatever objections they have, you can explain in person or through video conferencing. Hearing is happening nowadays, so you can explain them and you can clear all the doubts and the objections which they have raised, and then it becomes a granted patent. But if they are not happy, examiner is not satisfied, examiner doesn't follow what you say, doesn't have clarity, or doesn't have the same mindset as you are, doesn't feel that this patent is fulfilling all the criteria, maybe that patent get rejected. After the grant of the patent, it will again get published. Now, what are the jurisdiction where the patents are filed? So in India, there are four offices. So all the northern states are covered under Delhi office. All the southern states are covered under Chennai office. All the western are covered under Mumbai. Rest of India are covered under Kolkata. Patent is granted for 20 years from the date of filing. So as I said, whatever date in the patent life cycle will be calculated from the first day of filing. So from the first day of filing, if you have a granted patent within 2 years, within 3 years, within 4 years, 5 years, it will be 20 years from the date of filing. Now, why you should file, why you should protect your invention, why you should not ignore, because it raises your research quality. You are not allowing someone to infringe your invention or copy your invention and do the modification or do some kind of improvement, and again filing your own inventions. Then it also help in doing the focused research, because once you are doing taking your application invention to a next level of filing a patent, it always guide you, your process of the patent guides you for futuristic research. Then also for the universities, institutes and startups, helps in raising fund, and a good product and process if you have invented, you always go and can start your new company also. Then increases academia and industry linkage, obviously helps in accreditation and rankings, because government is now focusing on research more and more than ever, give you a good recognition and your contribution to society increases. Now, it also helps in attracting the investment. This is especially for the students and the startups. So if you make something, you protect your invention, obviously industries, NGOs, investors, government will be interested to fund you, because see, they know that if you have protected your invention, that protected your technology, either in a form of product or process, they know that if you have the protection, no one else can use, and only you can use that, you can exploit that, you can manufacture, sell that. So obviously that all investment will come to you, because that technology will not be used for cannot be used by someone else. Now, see, if you have got an idea, if you have an idea, so you should legally you should first file a patent and then publish a paper, because if you publish a paper or you present your idea before someone, as I am doing right today, I'm presenting some slides to you, so it becomes the prior art. Prior art means whatever there in the public domain before filing the patent, before filing the application. So if you have published something, it becomes your prior art, and it will kill, your paper will kill the novelty of your invention, your article will kill the novelty of the invention, which is the first criteria of the patent. So first file a patent and then publish a paper. He is the youngest patent holder of India. He has designed a chess game for 6 players, and he was, when the patent was awarded to him, he was just 9 years old. Now, the second very important intellectual property right, which everyone should know, is industrial design. Industrial design, why? See, industrial design covers the shapes, configuration, pattern of an product. And once you apply this, you are protecting the shape of a particular product. So if you see the manufacturing automobile industries, right, you will never see two automobile or two cars of the same look. You will always find a different look of every car. In fact, if you take one company Maruti or you take one company Tata, all the cars, all the models of the car have different shapes. So design only covers the visual appearance of a product. Any product can be covered, and I have mentioned, you can see on the screen, your consumer, your pharma industry, your design industry, your jewelry industry, your I would say apparel industry. Every industry can have design registration and or design patents. What is the process of filing this? So you have to file your design, you have to submit the 7 views of your design. When I say 7 views, it's like front, back, top, bottom, and both the sides. These are the 6 views, and the 7th view is the isometric or the 3D view. You file it. The examination of the patent of design office, there is only one design office, that is in Kolkata, will examine that. Once they examine, they will have some response for you. Either it is if it is accepted in the one go, it will be published and granted. If examiner have some objection, then you need to reply it, as we were doing in patents. And then if they want, they can call a hearing, and then it is granted, then it will be published first and then granted. So design process is quite easy, and it takes lesser time than the patent. The period of design registration is 10 plus 5. That means for 10 years it is given, protection is given, and 5 years further you can renew it. Next come the trademark, which is very important for any innovator, because if you are starting your own company, you should understand that trademark is nothing but business identifier for your business. So your name becomes your company's name, your product names becomes your identification. So that way you need to protect. It can be a word, it can be a design, it can be a color combination, and also a shape, order, uh, size, texture, anything which you think your customer are recognizing you from that particular way. So that becomes your trademark. So trademark is basically you protect it so that your customer doesn't get confused, your competitors doesn't copy your color combination or the features from which the customer is recognizing you. It is granted for 10 years, and it is renewed for 10 years. So every 10 years you can renew for 10 more years. Now these are some fake products where actually the customer get confused, the, I would say, the uneducated sometime, or sometime we also, this looks like so similar that we also never care about looking that if there is TM or R written on the name or not. Now comes the copyright. I'm explaining today the four important rights which actually an innovator should use. So in academics and research background, so patent was one, design was one, trademark for actually the startups I have dealt with, and copyright especially for the faculties who are writing, and especially for the students also who want to excel in media or broadcasting field. So copyright actually protects the literacy, dramatic, authorship work. Original work should be there. Here novelty is not required, but originality is required. Duration is 60 plus life of author, and this is not applicable. Copyright law is not applicable if someone is teaching you, or if some teacher or faculty or trainer is utilizing some material which is already copyrighted to just disseminate the knowledge, that means just to give the knowledge. Then you can always, this is not called infringement or cheating or copying. It is just for the knowledge sake you are doing. You are teaching your students or researchers or scholars. So this way, that's why I have put this picture that you will find at especially biotech and life sciences and pharmacy can understand this picture, that you will find these pictures in many books and many slides also. But you should not confuse that someone is copying, your teacher has copied it. No, they have full right to use these materials. Now see, we have learned four important IP rights: patents, copyright, trademark, and design rights. Now it's not important that one product will have one right. On the screen you can see then one product can have many IP rights. So I'll start with this. I have given the example of this phone here. It's like one phone, they have the trademark, the name, Nokia is the trademark, then product name. Because if you see Samsung has lot many products: Galaxy Note this, Galaxy Note that, then S1, S2, A1, A2, lot many variant came, the product came in the market. Same way Apple, 5s, 6, 10, 11, 11 Pro Max, 12 Mini, XR, whatever. So all products have their trademark registered. And the startup tone, see, I said that whatever your customer is recognizing you. So from the startup tone of Nokia, everyone was identifying that this particular tone is only of Nokia. Samsung or Apple doesn't give, or Xiaomi or Redmi doesn't give. So that's why they have registered this startup tone as trademark, because trademark is one kind of right which is for lifelong. Then comes your soft copyright. So the softwares which you has been used here in the phone is copyrighted. User manual has been copyrighted. Ringtones, startup tones again will be copyrighted also. So big companies goes for multiple protection so that enforcement of the IP becomes stronger. Images can be copyrighted. Then patents or the utility model doesn't happen in India, but outside India few other countries have utility model registration also. So patent is like data processing model, operating system of this phone, operating or operation of user interface will be the patent comes under the patent inventions. Design, the form of overall phone or the shape of overall phone, arrangement and shape of the buttons, and position and shape of the screen. And trade secret can be any technical know-how which you don't want to disclose, because every IP right has some tenure to expire. But trade secret, if you can keep it confidential, it is for lifelong. Then what is a benefit and why you should do it, why you should protect this? So I have already explained that before moving for any big I would say paper publication or starting a company, you should identify all the important IP rights which can protect your business or protect your product and process. And because that protection will be actually important for the future enforcement of that IP. Now once you are into IP, when if you are an innovator, if you are a regular innovator and researcher, these kind of IP activities, or these kind of IP, I would say, activities which you are using will keep you updated with the present trend and the futuristic research, that what is going to happen in market. And I am not going to repeat what has already happened, but I will try to identify the new problem or new improvement in that particular technology, and I will I'll do the new invention. So, say for example, see, first we were just messaging, then there are new technology, because messaging has lot many problems. You cannot do the video call, you cannot send your photos, videos, share your status. Then came the WhatsApp, and if you see, WhatsApp has so many evolution. Firstly, there was no status. I would say. Tracker there, or no status button there. Now you can put your status. Now YouTube, take for example, take YouTube. Now you can put your live videos, you can put your small short videos after TikTok was has been blocked from India. So see, every company does the product evaluation, and then upgrade the product. Why? Because they don't want to miss any feature to be trending in the market. They more focus on the futuristic research, and that's why intellectual property plays a very important role there. The company, you will see, those who are not involved in regular inventions and modification and improvement and protecting their IP, has been vanished from market also. So the benefit is like futuristic research, identifying the new trends which are developing in the market, and globally, and domestic and global both, generating new ideas, gain your competitive intelligence, because you are always ahead from your competition, and you know what is happening in the market. Then license new product, then solve technical problem, and identifying the manufacturer partners, if you are going to start your own business. So this was all from my side. If you have any query, I'll be happy to answer your query. If there is any query, you can ask me, please.
Hello, thank you, ma'am. Anybody, any student has any type of questions? Satyendra, you have raised your hands. Do you want to ask any question?
Hello, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, ma'am, if we have an idea regarding startup, then what was the process that you were saying that we should file a application or patent something? What
Yes,
was
so
the
if you have, see, startup is starting a business, right?
yes, ma'am, business.
And business, you have to identify that what product or service you are going to deliver in the market. So first you identify the product and service, then protect. You need to sit with your consult IP team or IP attorney, take advice that your product and service should be protected with what IP categories, and then you register those IP. Because see, I, in my 7 8 years of startup career, I have seen that startups, those who have not protected and go and have went and presented investor forum, or on any other platform to just to raise fund, seed money also, their idea has been copied. So you need to consult your IP attorney, that whatever product and service you are going to give, वो आपके सारे वो बता सके आपको कि आपके प्रोडक्ट पे कौन कौन से आईपी राइट अप्लाइड होंगे और आपको क्या प्रोटेक्शन इनिशियली करना चाहिए. Then if you are starting a business, your brand name should be protected. So these are the few things which you should keep in mind before starting a business.
Ma'am, is this process online, or we can file something online, or we have to go to some
No,
office
no. So this is
physically?
online, completely online. Patent, copyright, any IP which you need to file is online. Thing is that online will be filed by the patent registered patent agent of India. They have their login ID, password, they have their digital signature, and they can file it online.
And it costs something, or it's
Yes,
only.
yes, it costs something. There is government fees, which I can tell you. Professional fees differ from professional to professional. Government fees is if you have DIPP registered certificate or SME register Udyog Aadhaar certificate, then the cost of patent filing is 1600 rupees. And there are other forms if you go for early publication, which I missed. Sorry, I missed. So publication takes 18 months automatically, but if you want that it should get published ASAP, you can file a early publication form, and within 1 month your application will be published. So early publication forms is called form 9. So there you need to give, I think, 2500 rupees. Then form 18, you need to give 5000 rupees. So these are the government fees: 1600, 2500 and 5000 rupees is government fees which you need to submit. But if you have if you file on your name individual, or if you have a startup certificate or SME certificate.
Okay. What's
Thank
the website for it?
there is every company has their website, but yes, if you are asking for IP India, then you go just type in Google IP Patent Office India, you will get the first link of the patent office.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we need qualification for this startup business.
No, there is no qualification. You will see the big startup worldwide are the dropouts. So there is no qualification, but you need to register your startup under DIPP. Once you form the companies, you start working with that company. You should actually, it's not mandatory, but a recommendation you should get it registered under Ministry of Commerce department. It's called DIPP or Startup India. In small, in very simple, you can get a Startup India certificate. There is no qualification required that you should be BTech, you should be MTech, you should be PhD. No, I have mentored students who were 11th in 11th class or 9th class also in Jaipur. So there is no age limit or no qualification required to start a business.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else has any questions? Yes, students.
If you have any query, you can write to me. If you are hesitant to asking here, you can write to me. I have shown you the email ID, or I'll put the email ID in okay, chat box is disabled. So you can write to me on ipec@inoblip.com. Me or my team will reply with the answers. If you are hesitant asking here, no issues.
So I think, ma'am,
Can we
there's no
can we
further.
buy a can we owe a patent something?
Can you?
Can we owe an patent?
Oh, a patent means you want to buy, purchase a patent of
Yeah, yeah,
someone else.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
definitely. If you have that much amount of money and that person is ready to pay you, as Apple do, Apple purchase many of the technologies from students,
And
from small companies. So yes, you can, if the person is ready to sell and you have that much amount of money. Facebook was not able to purchase one patent of Snapchat. That's just because of the cost of that patent. So if you have money and that company is ready, Yes, you can purchase the patent.
Thank you.
Yes, anybody else? So I think, ma'am, I think there is no further any queries. So we can end up this session. Dr. Vivek, please can you say a few words on thanks of note?
Sure, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
First of all, big thanks to our guest speaker, Dr. Shweta Singh, for enriching with this knowledge to our students. I, Dr. Vivek, on behalf of IMT College of Pharmacy and entire group, I want to very hearty vote of thanks to our to speaker, Dr. Shweta Singh, for adoring their necessary work and sharing with us graceful opinion for today on IPR. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for admirable presentation and making this webinar interesting and meaningful. So I'm very pleased to express vote of thanks to all members who have made this webinar a grand success. So thank you so much again, ma'am. Thanks for your
Thank you
time.
so much. Thank you so much to the complete
Thank
team and all the viewers. And again, I'm saying if any of the students, especially the student, if you have any query, you can always ask to us. Our main motive of the organization is to support students, especially in the IP. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.